Hey gun people! Man, I got still at a pawn shop the other day. One of those little mom and pop shops where they let people sell stuff. I found these old handcuffs. These are pretty cool. I'm going to talk about tracer rounds in here real quick, but I'll probably talk more about these handcuffs because I think it was a pretty good little find. So let me make sure I can kind of stay in here and show you. So on these handcuffs here, the way it works, this little key here is there's a little screw in here that actually, when you're trying, my thing isn't right side up, there we go. So when you close this in here, there's a little bitty tip right here that you probably can't see, but what you do is you put this key, and it's just a little threaded thing, and you like twist this in here. Now, these are pretty old, so you twist this in here like so, and then you keep twisting, and as you twist, it pulls this spring back. It compresses this spring right here, which allows this little piece that goes in this hole here, so it can't close now. As I twist this, it's actually pulling, it gets tight, and then this will go in and close, and then as I unscrew it, the spring goes into the little hole, and now it's locked, and you need a key to get out. Pretty spiffy little set of old handcuffs. They wanted like 35 bucks for them. I had to ask if they'd take 25. They said yeah. But this is pretty cool. Old craftsman's ship. You know, they got one little swivel right here. So the actual, on the new handcuffs, the swivel is on each of the individual cuffs. And this one's just in the middle here. But pretty cool little handcuffs. Cleaned them up and everything. So now let's talk about the tracer round. So I found these at a pawn shop. And I think these, what's that number? M196. These are the older tracer before they came out with the green tip. They have a new green tip tracer, and these tracers supposedly will give you light, I think, out to about 500 yards. The new green tip tracers, I think, stay illuminated for 800 or 900 yards, somewhere like that. And I don't know the number destination, but these are, I think, 196. Isn't it 196? Where's that box? Yeah, M196. So the little red or orange tip says it's a tracer. Some people think that's the part that burns. Actually, the part that burns is inside the bullet, in the back of the bullet there. So when the gunpowder blows up, it ignites what they put in the back of the bullet, and then it goes out. And the reason why tracer rounds are kind of handy to have is when they first came out, they used to be in machine guns, and they were like every 4th or 5th round. I think they called it 4-in-1 or 1-in-4 or something like that. And I guess you could set it up by 1-in-10. Some guys used to pull out the tracers when we were doing training, because the tracer, the old machine gun, I don't know if it still uses, like the M60 machine gun that we used to have for our automatic gun, shot a 308 round. So it was the same as a 308 round. So the guys used to always pull out the tracer, the 5th round tracer, and keep it for their personal rifle, their 308. But anyway, I digress on the military woes. So it used to be like every 5th round, and you know, if you're walking rounds in and you can't see your target, that's the reason why the tracer was originally developed, so you could see, because you used to be only able to adjust your rounds if you saw where the bullet was hitting. So if you're shooting at a guy and the bullet's hitting in front of him, and you can see that, you know you're aiming too low, so you would raise up. Whereas a tracer round, you can watch your bullet, follow it in, and you can adjust while you're shooting. Well, the problem with a tracer round is you can see where your bullet's going, and they can see where it came from. So that's the disadvantage of a tracer. And a lot of guys, again, used to put a couple of rounds of tracer at the bottom of their mags. They'd load them first. And that way, if they ever got in a gunfight, when they saw tracer rounds coming out, they knew they were out of ammo, or they were close to being out of ammo, and then they could either reload or adjust accordingly. So, because nobody counts rounds, I know everybody teaches, you know, you should always count your rounds, you should know how many rounds you have. Nobody counts rounds when you're in a gunfight. You shoot till your gun dog's dry. That's just the way it goes. So, anyway, if there's a lull in shooting, then you reload. But if you're in an active fight, you're going to shoot until your gun goes dry. So, I picked these up. They wanted, I think, 15, 16 bucks. Where's the price tag on those suckers? Yeah, $15.99. And I was like, gosh, I don't know, that's too much. I said, will you take $12 a box? And they go, eh. Will you buy more than one? And I go, yeah, shit, I'll buy a couple. They go, okay. They go, how much for you to take all of them? I said, oh, if you give them 10 bucks a box, I'll take them all. How about $10.50? I go, okay. So I paid $10.50 a box, which I'm okay with. I mean, the average 5.56 round is usually 50 cents, 45 cents a round anyway. If you can get tracers for 50 cents a round, you're doing pretty good. I know Cheaper and Dirt used to sell them. They were American Eagle, so I don't think they're as good as the military grade ones. But they used to sell them for, I think, for 10 bucks a box of 20. So tracer round, good, bad, and different. Some people like them, some people don't. Some people say they're a waste. You know, depending on the bird. Another con against these tracer rounds is they have to hollow out the round in order to get the burning substance in there. And I've heard there's all kind of different substances, phosphorus, whatever, magnesium. Well, you can put whatever you want in the back of it that'll burn, because when a bullet goes off, the powder goes off. When the powder pushes the bullet down the barrel, it's flame, it's hot, it ignites whatever you put in the back of the bullet. So, I mean, you can load what you want in it to make your own tracer, but when you take weight away from a bullet, you change its ballistics. And the whole purpose of a tracer round is just to walk your other rounds in so you see where it is. They also have, they also have little new versions of tracers that are bright. These are considered the bright ones. And then they have the medium, and then they have the low light. And I think I don't know if the low light is the same, but there's one you can only see in infrared. So unless you got your goggles on, you can see the tracer, but the enemy can't see it, the plain eye, it's so light. The low light or medium light, I think you can see with night vision. It doesn't blind you, but it doesn't show up that great for the other people without night vision. So they're getting more advanced with the tracer round. You know, good, bad, and different. I picked them up, figured I'd discuss them on the channel in case somebody didn't know or never shot one. And I found those cool handcuffs. Woohoo! Man, those could have been worn by Jesse James. All right, we'll end that there.